that was like the interim song for the intro music when you were gone.
Wow. Okay. Well, just so you know, my friend Laura is here, and her
Yes.
brother is the one who made that song.
Well, then play it.
The back to school song. Are we making it right now? Okay.
6:03.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another terrible podcast by comics. And I'm Eerie Diamond, comic when it's not the apocalypse. And this is my co-host, Mean Dave, professional aspiring comic. Mean Dave, say hello.
Hello. How's it going? This is gonna be extra terrible. She said she's drunk. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Drunk, but I'm ish. You know what I'm saying? Let's introduce our comics. Our guests for the night, our comics. Ryan Goodcase.
Hi.
Yay.
Hello. Thank you for having me. Very excited to do another terrible podcast.
Oh yeah.
And we want to introduce Kyle, and then they can introduce
Yes.
themselves.
Our other comedian guest. He's not a fill-in. He's somebody I have wanted to have on. Unfortunately, unfortunately, we did have somebody who was like yesterday basically bail on us, and I was racing through my head, and he's up at 2 a.m. All right, and not many people are up at 2 a.m. And he's probably, I would say, the most unique and imaginative comic in the South Bay, and probably other areas. Please slap your hands together for Kyle Hovland, everyone.
Thank you, buddy. That's so nice. Thank you, buddy.
Yes.
I never met you before. I don't think I've met you before.
I've never met you before. I've seen you, but I've never met you before.
Yeah, Kyle's been mostly a South Bay comic. You ventured out into like the San Francisco and
here every once in a while. Yeah,
but he tends to go where he feels comfortable, as I've come to know him, and we'll get into more of that. Like, first off, we have a segment called Listen Up, and that's where we focus on our listening skills here, and so in that segment, basically, we have each of you tell us your briefest life story, the brief version, the abridged version of your life story, roughly around 200 words. So I guess we'll start with you, Kyle. What's your life story up to this point?
Well, I'm from Long Beach, California. I moved out here a while ago, and I work with preschool kids during the day. I do stand-up and I do improv, and I'm studying at the Bay Acting Studio. And I'm obese, and I'm just trying to. I feel silly already what I said, so I'm going to stop.
I love
that was wonderful.
One of those things weren't positive. Like, it was like
he's not that obese.
Positive, negative, but
it's balanced.
Yeah, it was.
He's deprecating
intro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's got some deprecating, qualities that makes him enduring.
Kyle, you're burly.
Oh, thank you,
Denise.
Thank you, Denise.
I'm trying to refer to myself as thick. I'm thick, which
2 C's.
Thick is
That's
fun.
Actually, Kyle is thick. That's what I'll put, because thick also implies sexy, and so Kyle is.
That's a hot term, thick. You know what I mean? Like,
and with C, it's THICC. That's how you spell thick when it's sexy. So, all right, and Ryan Goodcase, what is your life story up until this point?
My life story, let's see. Born in the Midwest, moved around a lot as a kid. It affected my social skills. Now I'm in California, working in a research lab, looking at alcoholism and HIV. And I was doing stand-up comedy before it became illegal. And now I don't know what to do with my life. And I'm not obese. I'm malnourished.
See, his intro was way more cooler, man.
I don't think so. I think we're pretty equal.
There's nothing cool about Ryan. However, Ryan is funny as shit.
Yeah.
I fucking love Ryan. So
he's all right. Yeah, he's good. He's funny. All right, let's pump the brakes a little. But no, like one of the things Ryan, I know Eerie would want to mention. because you competed in a competition. That's why one of the things too, we wanted to have our previously flaky canceled guest competed with you in this competition known as the World Series of Comedy. And so you guys are both friends, but adversarial friends, if I might say.
Yeah, we definitely play that up on Facebook.
Exactly. You joke around and you love taking jabs at each other, and it's nothing's more fun than watching two very similar, not similar, but like two white guys, straight white males in the comedy scene really go at it. And but you actually won it all.
Yeah.
So describe that competition for everybody here. They aren't familiar.
Sure. So the World Series of Comedy, there's a lot of satellite shows. So
what is a satellite show? Because I don't even really know what that means.
Satellite shows, you can think of as like qualifier rounds. You basically go to a comedy club somewhere in the country. Like I went to one in Sacramento and one in Las Vegas. And then they do like a 3-round little mini competition. And if you do well in that, you qualify for the main event, which this year was in East St. Louis, Illinois. And compete in the main event again, 3 rounds. It's like first 2 rounds are 7-minute sets, I think 8 minutes, and then the last round is 25. And it's judged. The main event is judged by comedy club owners, or I think it was mostly maybe former comedians, a few other, like, I don't know why you hear judges. And and I won. Sort out of the merit of just sticking to my material because I can't do much else. There was another person who probably had a better set, but he did 17 minutes of crowd work. So they gave me the victory for just doing material, even if it wasn't as good. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's as good. It's the fact that you weren't relying on a hack device. Oh, yeah, look, as you can see. For those who want to see the person who canceled on us in the last minute, that's the dude right there. And if you don't want to watch him, highly recommend not watching Amazon Prime. So moving on. We've done enough there, Eerie. You can change that image.
All right, I'm going to change it right now.
So yeah, but no, basically, I don't know if did any of you understand what his description was? Because I've seen it for years and I still don't understand how that fucking competition works. All I know is that you travel on your own dime to various different venues. You compete against various different comics that you don't know. And then somehow, if you've ever seen the movie Basketball, they have a breakdown. They have a breakdown of how all the teams, like they have a spoof of like how all these teams are like from all over the place. Now that reminds me of the World Series of Comedy, and somehow, some way, Ryan won the whole thing. That's and then awesome. tell them what you won, Ryan.
Yeah, I was gonna say I have a question. Any kind of, what was your trophy? What was it?
So the prize is sort of guaranteed club work. So all those judges who at the finals judging, they will give you a weekend at their comedy club for winning. And there's sort of tiers. If you get third, you get like, I think it's like 5 or 6 weekends. And if you get second, it's more than that, 12 or 15. And then first, I think they was like somewhere between 30 and 40. And I think the ideal is that you would headline the weekend, but I sort of asked to feature because I don't feel comfortable doing 40, 45 consistently as a headliner. I thought I wanted to start a little smaller than that. So yeah, it definitely was disappointing to set up all those club dates and then have the whole country shut down. So I did all that traveling on my own dime. Hopefully I can redeem it once this is all over, but
that's what I'm wondering. They fucking better.
Yeah, it's just tough because I mean, it's like if you've ever, if a comedian's ever dealt with a comedy club owner through email, you know that it's pretty tough to get through to them. They're getting thousands of emails, so it's easy to get lost, under the rug or whatever. Mm-hmm. So the longer this goes on, the more likely I think it is that I will get lost. But fingers crossed. Try to be optimistic, I guess.
Get use some of that school shooter charm, and in their face. On the flip side, one of the things Kyle's part, he mentioned it earlier, because he's been, a lot of there's this divide with the stand-up comedy world and the improv world, and Kyle transcends all of that. Kyle, would you please tell us a little bit about your experiences with improv?
Thank you, buddy. I'm on the house team at American Improv Theater in San Jose, and we do like a long form and a short form improv. And the owner actually was mentored by Jonathan Winters, which was a stand-up, but he was kind of like more of a stand-up improviser than a comic. When you watch him, he didn't really do jokes. He kind of did like, I don't know how to describe it. He kind of riffs, different voices and stuff. But he knew him, and he has Rob Williams' bike, which was kind of interesting because that was like Rob Williams' idol. But I'm getting off topic. It's a good release. It's totally different. I love stand-up way longer. I've done stand-up longer, but I've come to love improv too, just different,
Well, it's because you do something that other comics don't. You bring your friends on stage.
Oh yeah.
Kyle does not try to give away the magic trick of it all. Kyle has friends that he brings on stage, one at a time, and they're each of these friends tend to improvise, and he's one of the friends that he brought to a show was my favorite, even though they're all wonderful, but my favorite was the guy who did his first open mic at the Go Go Gone show. What was the name?
Ralph Thomas.
Ralph Thomas. I love Ralph Thomas.
It's his first time doing comedy every time.
Every time. It's his first time doing comedy, and he goes up there and if you ever see this is Go Go Gone show. It's a gong type show in San Jose. It's an open mic with judges. And then they invite people to come up. They have poets, they have musicians, and they have comedians. And the comedians they love to have there because they get gonged the most by the judges. The judges just love hearing, as soon as they hear one thing they don't like, gonged. And it was my first time going to do that thing. And Kyle was the first one up doing, not Kyle, I'm sorry, Ralph Thomas.
Yeah, Ralph Thomas.
Ralph Thomas was the first one who went up, and it was a treat. You made it through all 3 minutes too. You didn't get gonged. Ralph didn't.
I think that was maybe the only time Ralph Thomas actually got through the 3 minutes without gonging. My theory is he has a kind of fetish where he likes to do the 10 worst jokes without getting gonged, but like he goes for the 10. I think part of him is self-sabotaging. He likes the worst jokes, and often by the second or third they would gong him, and then he'd get angry. But he's also really nervous because it's his first time. He works at the meat section of Safeway.
Gotcha. All right, backstory and everything. I love that.
I think he borrowed my glasses one night. Does that sound right?
Yeah, he has. Sometimes he has problems with his eyes.
So, all right. Well, okay. So we'll explore some of those friends a little more. So the next section, Eerie, I think we'll start with you in this section, which you're familiar with. How's everybody holding up? We're in weeks. What is it? Week 19 of the quarantine shelter in place that seems to never end. How are you doing, Eerie? That good, huh?
Yeah. I'm
There it is.
Okay, so I am back down to I am working, which is awesome, but I'm mostly working from home. And now I went from 2 days a week in the office to 1 day a week in the office. And I have been in this house for 5 days and straight. And today I was like, oh, I'm going to go to Walgreens. Woo! And this is why I put makeup on and stuff. And then I realized I drank too much and I can't drive myself to Walgreens. And the point is that I vacillate between really wanting to go somewhere and being terrified to go anywhere. I'm starting to be one of those people that's got like a almost like a phobia or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm almost like, let's do this. Hell yeah. And then like, I'm not 100% sure. So there's that. Can I say one thing? Can we go back just a second? I would like to say that Ryan and I did a show, the drive-in show. I know I talked about this last time we did a show, and he rolled somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, really? What? Okay. Well, first off, nobody's
Usually
gonna know what they mean.
Yeah. Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
What the term she says rolled because if you're at a show and somebody isn't liking the show and they get up and they leave, it's considered walking that person. So you walked that person. Poor Ryan, in the middle of his set, he was doing about 15 plus minutes. For the first time at any of the drive-in shows, we had somebody turn on their car and start to try and drive off, which which Ryan pointed out.
Yeah, and I think I got support from the other cars started to honk at them, so that made me feel better.
And I don't think it had anything to do with you, but it was kind of funny because it was like
you made it about him. No, he had to make it. Yeah, it's like, how are you?
I immediately started texting everybody, going, "Dude, you rolled somebody. Good job, dude!" Like,
yeah. It was passed on to me later that the person had to go to the bathroom, and that's why they were leaving.
Was that so? I made that up, or was that? Did you hear that
I thought, wasn't it Mike Bucci's mother? I think that's what he said.
Could have
mother
been.
Or mother.
He might have just told you that just to make you feel better.
That's possible.
Whatever you have to tell yourself. It's fine. It's just
it could be true.
It's one thing when somebody gets up out of their chair and walks and leaves, and you're like, fuck. It's another thing when someone turns on their fucking lights, revs their car, and then is like, open the gates!
Yeah.
Like, I'm out of here!
I will say they did leave their lights off, which I thought was funny. Like they were trying to, it was like the equivalent of like crouching when you're walking out of a show.
No, that's why I think it wasn't like a hard roll. I even said as much. I'm like, my hunch was they had to take a dump, and they didn't want to use the porta potty. That was, and what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Nobody wants to sit.
I know you, Ryan. It wasn't you, but my point is that it was funny, and I teased him a lot about it. And
we all did. No,
and I would also like to say that at that show, you said to me, "Oh wow, you also booked Paul Conyers on the podcast." And
I was upset.
Yes, we did, and you said, "I fucking hate that guy," and then you said, "I'm just kidding."
Yeah, you took it very seriously.
I did.
So I backed out immediately.
No, yeah, and you were like, I'm just kidding. But it's okay to hate people. Hate is it's okay.
That's actually good. I'm going to bump up a section to the next one. Yeah, since we're kind of going right into it. Which local comedian do you hate the most?
Yeah, let's hear
Kyle and Ryan. And we can name names here because most of these people don't know who the comedians are, so feel free to vent.
I do.
We're all friends here.
Melanie, I mean, you know them. Maybe it's not if they're only in the South Bay. I mean, you know most of them. Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of sort of confused by this question and like what I would gain by answering it. It seems like I could give a joke answer, like Paul Conyers.
Venting relief. I mean, just whatever. Yeah, Paul Conyers would be good. I'll say that he's on my list right now. So, because it's mainly because it's not so much for canceling. It was mainly the fact that he hit me up to do the drive-in show, and then and I was like, okay, And normally when somebody hits me up, I'm like, I give them a thumbs up, which is basically like a fuck off. And because I'm like, I'd rather find the people myself, and I don't, everybody wants to. Yeah, my stepdad's even making a joke, Phil Johnson. Like that's is
that a joke or does he hate him?
My parents are not. Yeah, see, that's my stepdad giving a thumbs down.
Mark is not. He's
not a fan. They've known. I mean, and I have nothing but love for Phil Johnson. It's the act that they're not necessarily.
Can I ask?
Dave,
yes, Mom.
The other guy I don't like.
Oh, it's what was it? John DeCoven?
No.
Oh yeah, that
No.
That guy too. Well, he was a producer.
Oh, the
who's
guy who's in LA.
Oh, Brendan Lynch. Yeah,
Yes.
they hate Brendan Lynch.
I love Brandon
I have
Lynch.
no problem trashing him for my parents any day of the week. And these are comics you can look up, everybody. But trust me,
They're so honest, dude.
they're of no significance. No, it's because they've seen them around. It's like Phil's a sweetheart. That's the thing. That's more. I feel more protective of, like, you know, Phil's ego in that regard. But I've seen Phil also take some cheap shots at me when he didn't like the way things were going. But Brendan, on the other hand, I love anything that I can say or do if it ever gets on Brendan's radar and pisses him off. Wonderful. I think I even did so in my in the meantime show. We had a whole segment that we were just trashing Brendan Lynch for fun. But yeah, but yeah, you and Paul Conyers have a nice rivalry. But Kyle, let's
Can
hear
I ask really quickly, Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
Is it real or is it fun or is there really a beef?
No, it's
You already-
definitely
you already
fake. Like
said-
I don't think I'd ever be open about hating someone.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got things to lose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's too confrontational. I don't think there's anything to gain from it, really. I can talk about comedians who I hated in the past and came around on, because I think that happens.
Yeah,
pretty
what
often.
happened? Well, who's that? Name one of the.
One example I could think of is Tim Young.
Oh yeah, I can see
When I
that.
first met him, I thought he was sort of cocky and arrogant.
He looks like a perpetual 18-year-old.
Yeah.
Actually, not even 18, 15-year-old, and he's like 22 now. Yeah. With
But then, like,
facial
the first
hair.
time he showed any sort of humility, then I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's just like a defense.
It's
He's
still-
he's a nice enough guy.
Still highly sociopathic, but Kyle, who's the comic? that you-
Yeah,
I
Kyle,
have-
What do you got?
It's hard for me to pick one. There was a guy in Santa Cruz that he tried to go up on a mic, and I was with Dave at the time, I think.
Dave Zagnoni.
Yeah, and he was like number 3, and he was like threatening people to get on. And then, like, I guess he later stole stuff at the other one. His name's like Buffalo Bill or something like that.
Oh, I know who. No, that's
That's
no, it's
ridiculous.
not. No, that's is it
Okay.
not Big Bill? No, it's
Yes,
it's
he was
Big Bill.
terrifying.
Oh,
Oh, I know
remember him.
Bill. I know Bill. Actually, I have to stay. Yeah, I know he's got a record.
I forgot about him.
Yeah.
The night we went on, he was like strung out on something because
Yeah, he messes with. Yeah, he was doing hard drugs. Yeah.
he was. I don't know if he was on PCP or what, but he was like number 3, and he was like, "Say it again, say it again."
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
I want to live. I don't get, like, this was terrifying. And so I don't like him. There's this guy, Joey Vega. He also kind of scares me because he used to be a boxer, and I think he has some brain damage. But he goes on mics and starts singing. He starts screaming really loud,
Mhm.
and I like hate going on after him. But I want to be friends with him because I mean, not friends with him, but I want him to like me because I don't. When he loses it, I don't want to be the guy he attacks.
Yeah,
That's a
there's sort
smart
of
strategy.
two parts to that question, because you can hate a comedian based on their comedy, and you can hate them just based on their personality. I think you
Yes.
can easily separate that.
There's a couple others that I'll say this. I don't like it when a comedian puts down on Facebook that their number of sets, like, this is my 100th set, and they post it. If that person, those people kind of annoy me, and
Mhm.
yeah. And there's a couple other people that I just don't. That
Ah!
Yeah, I couldn't think of many. Kyle's got like a list of.
Well, he's
20.
got. No, believe me, that's why I knew. I
Let's
made
go
that.
through 'em.
I made this for Kyle. I mean, I made number 6 the question.
also, I think if you look like you just came out of the hair, like, that's a bad example because I got fabulous hair. But if you look like you're dressed to the nines and you have like skinny jeans and you look really hot or something like that.
He just
and
shot me a picture of someone yesterday.
That's
He shot me a picture of somebody. No, it's no. If you're dressed like the Jersey Shore gang, today,
Then you're a
And-
silly goose.
yeah,
Or if you're wearing a full
outta
suit
here.
and tie
I
to an
think
open mic.
I think that's rude. Kyle,
not rude at all.
Dave, I'd ask you who you hate in the scene, but
I don't. No, I'm today. I'm moderating today.
we don't
Keeps me
have that
focused.
much time because
I'm moderating. I don't have a hate in my heart for anybody really in the
Are
comedy
you
scene.
fucking kidding me right now?
None of it's flat out hate. I believe me. It's Ryan actually pointed to something, is that there's people that I won't get along with and that I kind of come full circle to. But for the most part, most of the people even that I can't stand, the reasons why I don't like them is not because I think it's not because I don't like them. It's because I don't like people that are so eager to to exploit themselves or try to like when people that are eager to get on the drive-in show. Like, I can't find comics to be on a fucking drive-in show out here. It's like, yeah, I know you want to be on the drive-in show, but there's going to be a wave of people who I have on before I would even get to people like you. And so yeah, it's just, it's one of those things. So but beyond that, I don't really, because it's just like I said, the guy that I love to hate on the most is Brendan Lynch, and it's really just out of love, not because I love the dude, but because I love hating on the dude. And it bugs him to no end that I exist. Like, he has me blocked on all mediums, and yet if ever like he got wind of like the YouTube video that I made or any of this other stuff, that would just drive him nuts. And
Didn't you physically intimidate him once at Blue
I was
Lagoon?
drunk, yes, and I used to do that all the time. My mom loves this. It's probably one of the only few things I did drunk that my mom's proud of. But no, there was and this is a guy, I wish I could get a photo of him just so you can see, because he's really got a hateable face. He's a funny dude too. He's the thing about him is he's more of a insult. He tries to be more of like, embodies the persona of a wrestling villain. He tries to pick on the audience, and he thinks that's what he has to do. He's actually pretty funny when he's not being so insecure. And I've actually hung out with him one-on-one, and he was totally cool. It's when other people show up and he thinks he has to turn it on that then he becomes a shithead. But no, I was drunk one night. It's one of my meltdowns. And I ended up, I knew I intimidated him whenever I was drinking, and I don't fight. I'm not a physically like imposing person. I'm 5'9", and he's taller than me. And so I saw him, and I was relatively blackout drunk, and I remember flashes of this, and I gave him one of those Hulk Hogan, just like pointed right at him, which scared him. And then I walked up to him and I grabbed him by his shirt and I said, "I could kick your fucking ass." and he was scared shitless. And the only reason I know this is because Victor Pacheco, who was my friend at the time, was standing right by him. And Victor's a huge, anybody who doesn't know him, he's a big Mexican dude. He's dressed in a very nice outfit. So he looked like a security, like he looked like a bouncer of some sort. And he hated Brendan Lynch even more than I did. And so it was so funny to him. The thing he loved about it was that Brendan was scared shitless, and he turned to Victor and he said, "Can you help get him off me?" and Victor said, "No, this is too hilarious." And so he basically sat there and watched me like scare the shit out of him while I was holding on to his shirt. And the point at which Victor did get me off him was when he heard the fibers in his shirt start to rip. Because Victor's savvy enough on the law to know that would constitute assault. And so he got my hand off him and he took me away. And he said, ever since then, Brendan Lynch was always super nice to him. And and then I think I chased him out in the parking lot too. I chased him into Cody Wood's car or some shit like that. I was having a lot of fun that night. It was a lot of fun.
You're so funny. Dave, Victor has a beef with you now, right?
No, he doesn't have a beef. No, he has no beef with me. If he talks shit, he talks shit. But I've kind of cut him out of my life for a while because anybody who knows him knows he's quite give him the finger, he'll take the whole arm kind of guy.
He blocked me on Facebook recently.
Wonder why?
Yeah.
What did you refuse him, Ryan?
This was actually kind of mean on my part. We did a show and he was hosting. And I thought he heckled me, but he hadn't. And I sort of retorted something about him not getting enough laughs during his hosting set.
Oh, good. Oh, damn, dude.
Yeah.
Man. Oh, Jesus Christ. I might block you myself for that, man. That's pretty hard.
I mean, I guess I didn't think much of it at the time. But reflecting, I realized it was pretty mean and uncalled for.
Well, the thing about him is and Kyle, we were all friends with the comic Dave Zignoni. we all know him.
Dave
He's actually
Zignoni. Where
Dave
did he
Zignoni.
go?
He's in Philadelphia. He lives in Philadelphia now.
Zignoni?
Yeah, and he's not doing comedy there, obviously, or maybe he is because they might be open or some shit. But that's how I kind of met Ryan and Kyle, was through Dave Zignoni, a mutual friend, and Victor was the one who told me that Dave Zignoni was funny and I should talk to him and all that shit. But one of the things about it that Victor and we all kind of experience this is there's a lot of levels of jealousy. If you see people, kind of.
Ooh, the jealousy is so fun, though.
Well, jealousy is a big part of comedy. I mean, you watch pro comics and they talk about it.
Did you guys
So comedy is kind of like a soap opera, huh?
Oh, it is very
Oh my
much a
God.
soap opera.
Can I, Kyle? Can I
Yeah.
ask you? The improv scene, is it very like crazy like that too? Like, oh, I'm your friend, not really.
In my limited, this is my observation, and I'm sure people would say that's full of shit. Someone would say, but it seemed like there's more jealousy between theaters than individuals.
That because they're teams. They're teams. Yeah. No, and that's
they're
actually
gangs. They're gangs.
Yeah.
They're improv. That's true. Because but they work together. So so naturally they would. I mean, it's like softball. Softball teams get mad at each other and they almost have fights and on that shit. That's what I love hearing about is my recovery groups. They play softball from time to time, and I love hearing about the fights that go on when like spiritual principles go out the window when they're arguing over fucking scores. It's like maybe you guys, if you drank a little more and forgot what the score was, you'd have a little more fun. I don't know. So pointless. But I think we spent a good amount of time on hate.
It's so fun. Did everybody have a good time with the hate? Yay with the hate.
Look at Deneen's wanting more.
Wait, did you answer, Eerie?
It's fun. I think.
Yeah.
Oh, my answer. Oh,
yeah, what's your answer?
Okay. Well, my answer is I actually have revolving sort of hate. The only person that annoys me, it's not hate. I don't hate anyone, but I do. Someone that really annoys me, and they don't annoy me for the right reasons. Nicole Tran annoys the shit out of me. And the reason is that she's very condescending to me. She constantly tells me that the only reason I get booked is because I'm white and pretty, which, hey, I'm woke. Sure, I get booked because I'm white. However, I also think maybe I'm funny. I don't know. But it really annoys the fuck out of me. And then the other thing is every time I see her, she tries to give me strange things. And I know she's trying to be cool, but last time I saw her, she gave me soap. And then
Which I took.
Yes. And she gave me soap. And I was like, thank you. And then, because I'm trying to be nice, I don't think she's a mean person. But I think she's actually like a secret agent or something. Like
she's a suck up. She's just a suck up. She's a teacher's pet.
Yes.
Just garden variety teacher's pet who is navigating outside of like her familiarity. The thing about Nicole Tran, she's not a bad person per se, but she's an aggressive. I mean, she's from Vietnam. She wanted to get into comedy for some reason, but also doesn't. It's some. She got it from some store. The soap, Melanie. She tells jokes that she didn't write. There's a comedian, Mickey Joseph, who writes her jokes,
which 100% makes us crazy, right? Does that make everybody crazy when you have a writer? No. Okay.
Well, if she's paying them, I mean, I mean, Mickey's got to work too.
I think that's an interesting question because like pop stars, they don't write their songs. A lot of them.
Most of them, go there.
So the idea is like you have a performer. There's something special about the performance of it, even if they didn't write it, and that applies to music, and people are okay with that. But when you hear it with comedy, people usually get much more.
And it's prevalent. I think a lot of pro comics have writers.
I think that when you're you're not on a fucking show. You're not on a TV show where someone's writing your shit. I think it's crazy.
She's imitating it. She's imitating.
You have your own voice, and then she has someone write her fucking jokes, and her jokes
They work.
Very
They work.
successful though. She's
They
very
work, yeah.
successful, and they work, and that's awesome. And I think it's
The
great.
reason why, well, part of the reason why is because there's been a return to like 80s sensibility when it comes to race, and some of the lowest hanging fruit, which is her jokes. Because I've even followed her, and I said, does anybody else feel like there's something wrong with some of because it is literally a stereotype of herself.
Yes.
Because she's like doing these, I mean, as somebody described it, ching chong jokes or whatever. And so it's not even so much, it's not her fault. It's the audience's fault that loves it.
But what bugs me about her is that she will knock me down, and then she will be like, do you want some soap? I have avocados in the car. Do you want to
Hey, they were good avocados too. Don't be knocking her avocado briberies. She hooked me up with 3 of them.
It's okay. Anyway, that bugs me. And it's not her.
Clearly.
She's a nice person, but it fucking drives me crazy because she continuously, every time I see
feels
her,
insincere.
she insults me, and then she's like, do you want some soap? Like, I'm like, dude, do you realize you insulted? Anyways, I'm sorry.
No, I think I wanted to convey to everybody. See, yeah, and that's you see how it really is very much like junior high as an adult. That's what
right.
And I just want to say that, is I like Buffalo Bill, and I like
Big
Vegas.
Bill.
I was
Big Bill.
Big Bill.
I don't think
Is she great?
Actually, it's probably better we call him Buffalo Bill. It's probably for the best. Yeah,
I like those guys. I'm all kidding. Don't kill me. I like
Big Bill. There was a time when Big Bill was a liked guy, and he would be funny, but unfortunately he was one of these dudes that would float around. There's people that get into, and Nicole kind of is in this group of people that they immediately get into comedy and they think that it's going to take off, like just because you have a good show or something. Now I belong on TV. Now people hook it up, make it happen for me. And Bill was one of those people, and Bill hit some hard times, and then he stole a laptop at an open mic that belonged to a federal agent.
Whoa.
So that was the big deal that got him banned from most places, because he was stealing. He was known for having his issues, drug addict and all that, but the big deal was at was it Rosie McCann's open mic, and it was a packed house, and he was there. He was upset that he wasn't getting on when he wanted or whatever, and then he's a conspicuous dude. He's a very large black dude, and knowing the sensibility of, I mean, we're in the height of the BLM time and all that kind of stuff. Like, you would think that one of these Karens or whatever would have been like, so scared of him or something, but he managed to get in somebody's like bag and steal a laptop, or just steal the bag. And then they found out later that the laptop belonged to a federal agent, and he was charged with a federal crime. So wow. I think he had to do some time for that.
That's crazy.
When he had his heart in the right place, he was not so bad. But I started to see the dark side pretty quickly, and I knew some people that knew him from before comedy, and they didn't have kind things to say about it. And it sucks to see that. But
Can I just say one thing really quick? I mean,
please
I know
do.
These are all people that are friends and everything, but I just want you all to know that
good time. Yeah.
Venmo is the way that you pay artists during the apocalypse. Venmo, the way you pay artists during the apocalypse.
I like how your capital letters got progressively smaller as you went on.
Well, it's because you ran out of room, man. What are you gonna do?
Haven't you guys ever decorated a cake? It started out with like a big happy birthday, and then it kind of like got smaller as it went. So
yep, I'm talking more about the vertical space though. Like the D is much shorter than the first E.
Hey Ryan, do you want to get paid tonight?
I'm kind of indifferent.
Maybe you shouldn't criticize my sign, Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw what just happened to Nicole Tran. She ain't gonna be on this show anytime soon. All right, no avocados.
No, I want Nicole Tran to be on the show, because
really, I
want to talk. I do want there to be a day where I actually tell her, you were so shitty to me and you didn't even realize it, because I'm sure she would be like, I didn't mean to be shitty to you. Like, you know, I don't know.
I don't want to exploit that for the show. I mean, as much as I would love for all these people to watch you have that one-on-one.
No,
I think the next question that I have here, and I think it was good to bring it to go from the previous one, is so where today, being that you're two straight white male comics, how are your white guilt levels holding up in BLM?
Go ahead, Kyle.
You know what? There's no. I
Having connection issues.
I'm sorry.
Might be bringing one of his friends to answer. I'm not sure.
Hold on. This is a little bit tricky. Sorry, guys. I feel like it's kind of a bad thing, because if I don't feel any guilt, like I'm not supposed to say that. So I feel guilty. A lot of guilt.
What about, I've heard some calls for Chief Wahoo to be voiced by an actual Native American instead of a white person.
You're a little bit late to the news. He has been going by Wahoo for years, not Chief Wahoo.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
okay.
it actually turned out
Brian.
he took a DNA test, and he's Dutch Calvinist. So he's not. He thought he had some Native American ancestry. So that's what he was told his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
But he took a DNA test that's really popular now, and hot
Turns
dog.
out he's 100% Dutch Calvinist.
He's 100%. Both his parents, they were Dutch Calvinists that traveled to the mountains, but he is a psychic, and he's an energy reader. That's what he does.
How about let's do a little test, because I want people to understand kind of how your friends operate and a little bit of the Wahoo. Would you mind bringing Wahoo in here and maybe having Wahoo conduct?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let me see. I gotta call.
Yeah, go ahead. You handle that. We'll talk to Ryan. Ryan, how's your white guilt levels holding up in BLM?
Well, what's good about the surge in the BLM movement right now during quarantine is it's a lot harder to go out and be racist, since I'm just staying at home a lot. There's less opportunities for me to mess up, but also it gives you time to sort of reflect on what you've done in the past and what you can do differently. So I'm definitely definitely thinking about any smaller instances of thinking about what the experience is to be a black person when you're the only black person, because I've been in a lot of situations like that where it's mostly white people and one black person, and just being aware and conscious of that, I feel like I might approach those situations differently, possibly. Yeah. I don't know.
I think it's strange in this time. Also we're witnessing the rise of the Karens, as we're seeing. That's what I really. It's been this strange kind of I don't know. It's all, and I don't know. It all seems to originate in Twitter. But all right, I think Wahoo might be joining us. I'm curious. Okay.
I have a very strong energy field out here.
Welcome, Wahoo, everybody.
Be out there.
Oh,
Mabel, Mabel. Her favorite restaurant is Wendy's, and she's mad at her dad. Melanie, she's Italian American, and she has other problems. She's been arrested for domestic abuse twice, and she abuses animals.
Oh, no.
Lewis, half man, half silverback gorilla. He's related to Fozzie Bear and a great American. Jason used to play in a band called ZZ Top. He joined an Amish community, and he's the body double of David Cross and DNA in Santa Cruz. Larissa loves reading Anne Rice novels. horrible temperament, loves wine. Let's see here. Deneen, wonderful lady, fun, very lovely. She also killed her husband for the money. I forgive you. Mark Spindler. He starred in a film called Hellboy 2. He's going to be in the reboot of Teen Wolf Plus. The lady next to him used to sing for a band called Alice in Chains in the 1990s. Eerie Diamond. She has tattoos. Some daddy issues, definitely. She likes Hanna-Barbera cartoons. She's very complicated. Ryan Goodcase starred in a film called A Christmas Story.
Mm-hmm.
He's all grown.
This feels less like a psychic reading and more like an IDMB
I know. This is.
page.
Did we call in? Is that what happened? We called in.
Hey,
Okay.
let Wahoo finish.
Okay. Sorry.
Mean Dave. I get a very certain energy. It's very musical. It's something like Pelvins.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Some kind of regressive metal. Something. You like Metallica, but the later years. Something like that. You guys have been great. I have to go back.
All right,
Being a-
all right.
Dude, oh my God! Do we owe you like $1.99?
Well, welcome. Thank you very much, Wahoo, for your
was-
readings.
Amazing.
That's what Wahoo does. And again, that's one of a few friends that Kyle brings on stage with him to performance. But so as we were saying earlier, that was fun. I'm glad you did bring up that he used to be Chief Wahoo and he's no longer Chief to avoid all that stuff. How about you, Eerie? Any white guilt level affection at this point? No, you're drunk. I don't want to ruin your high. All right, so moving on. Let's see. Well, we kind of already. This was one of the questions that I was going to get to if it felt more appropriate, but I don't know if it really does now. But how many personalities do you have? That was one more for our buddy here. So I guess Ryan, I guess we'll have you. How many personalities do you have?
I mean, some people would argue 0.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably, I don't know. I think if we're talking performance, which is, I don't know, what I think is relevant maybe to the conversation. I don't know if it's a personality, but like if I get angry, there's like like if I get angry with the audience, then my performance definitely changes. Like it's hard for me to go back to base level. So
it's like when a host interrupts your set and you think he's heckling you, and then you like
exactly
chime back with a criticism about his hosting set, and then can of worms. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, so I mean, actually, it's funny that instance where I say someone yell out a drug, and I'll tell you a story about it. If anyone, like an audience member, inserts a joke there, like by saying Tylenol, then I usually kind of just get angry at them because I don't like when an audience member tries to get a laugh. So that's what happened that night, and I just mistook who said that because it's hard to tell on Zoom shows. So yeah, I think that I sort of have that built-in like response. If an audience member tries to be funny, you just try to shut them down. And I made the mistake of being too mean.
And it cost you a Facebook
Can
friend.
I ask you a quick question, Ryan?
Yeah.
You don't like. I'm not going to be mean, but
I'll judge that.
I'm not like scared of you getting angry, but like what's like you're angry are
mean. mean, like biting. Like,
yeah, like are you like a long fuse or a short fuse? Like if you kill,
You just
are you
see
one
some
of
of
those
his.
like I'm good, but then I'm gonna stab you, or what? Like
I don't
what's your
think I'd ever resort to violence.
what's your most angry thing you've done?
I
Like
get
do you
angry
yell,
driving a lot. I've
yell, or
flipped
you
people
just
off.
hack into their account and like get their money's gone, or
He's
what?
not a computer nerd. He's a scientist. We've had to cover this before.
Me, but my point is that like what is your like what I've never seen you angry. It's I just want to ask you about your anger. Just tell me about your anger.
I get angry driving a lot.
Okay.
And I'll like sometimes I'll drive aggressively, which I know is bad. Like if someone's making me angry, I'll like not let them pass me. That's a good instance of my anger getting out of control.
Danger,
what kind of car
man.
do you drive?
It's
Do you drive like
bad.
a really
I'm-
aggressive car, or
What's that?
do you drive like a really aggressive car?
Well, what's funny is it looks
He's
aggressive.
got a racing stripe on it. He's got a
It's
racing stripe on
It
it.
looks like it would be aggressive, but it's just like got a V4 engine. I couldn't do anything with it. So I think some people
What
get
kind of
egged
car is
on
it?
by that.
What kind of car? What do you got?
It's a Dodge Dart.
Okay. Oh, that's actually
I mean,
like
it
a
used to
very
be, I think it
nice
used to
car.
be a nicer car than what it is now. It became sort of,
It's a fine car.
No,
it's a good
that's
car.
a very good. That's a very good car. Like,
and you're never selling it.
well,
I've seen your. No, you've seen,
Yeah.
if you see it. Here's the thing, Ryan. This is how good Ryan's disposition is. We did a show Tuesday and at the what's the fucking place in Oakland over there on what's the one that the hella funny guys run.
Oh,
Um,
God,
you
it's
know,
been so long.
yeah, I know. I'm trying. I know the
doesn't
place.
matter. No one can go there.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. It's on. Yeah, it's on.
Oh, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Ryan's one of the cool people where if I see him and if it's on his way, if he, I'll ask him like, hey, is it cool to get a ride home? And he'll hook me up. And so I was going, we're waiting
Copper
to be done.
Spoon.
Copper Spoon, exactly. So we leave Copper Spoon and I see where Ryan parked and I immediately go, oh shit. Because, if you've parked in Oakland at all, chances are, either you've had your window smashed in or you're one of the very lucky ones. And where he parked was right around the corner, but it's in this area where it's like there's nothing around it. There's like a empty gas station by it and all that stuff, but nobody stops anybody around there. And so I was just like, kind of like, oh shit, I hope your car is gonna be okay. And as we're walking up, that's when I look and I'm like, oh no, it's not. And somebody broke his windows and they didn't even take anything, did they?
Oh no.
Yeah, they didn't take anything. And and here's the thing, when I'm in one of those moods or whatever like that, I'm like, you're taking Bart tonight, motherfucker. Just like I want to share the misery or whatever. And he was the coolest dude driving his car back. He was,
Yeah.
And then you went home and like killed someone, your neighbors.
I get that. I guess I give that vibe off of being a serial killer or a school shooter, but I think people, I don't know. I don't have that level of anger right now.
Because society is hacky. That's
Right.
why.
Yeah.
Now, see, calm people scare the fuck out of me. Anybody else? Yeah? No? Like,
Why would they scare you?
like,
That's a good question. Why would they scare you, Eric?
why would it scare me? Because speaking of Buffalo Bill, it put lotion on. He never seemed emotional or upset about the whole thing. And like,
That was a movie.
Kyle, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Are you calm or do you have like Hulk anger? What do you got?
I kind of, it's a little of both, I think.
I've seen Kyle angry.
Yeah.
That's super.
I want to.
He rip out of his shirt and then like.
No, he makes fun of you.
Oh, good. Oh,
He'll talk mad shit.
That's what I do. That's awesome.
And I just wanted to say, in case people think I'm Wahoo, that I'm sorry. Any of the mean things he said, it's not me. Sometimes people afterwards will come up to me thinking I'm Wahoo, and I'm like, I try to explain to them I'm not Wahoo, but
Understood.
That happened the first time I met Wahoo. He told me that I had Asperger's, and that upset me a little bit.
that was rude. And I
Then
didn't
Kyle
agree with
explained
it.
to me that, yeah.
That is terrible. You do
Had to
not
have words.
I don't think you have that.
And I just for me explaining myself, I'm getting upset, but yeah, I have anger, sure, absolutely.
Well,
but I'm better than I used to be. I think we just learned to be better than we used to be. If that makes sense.
This question I wrote again for you, Kyle, was how many personalities do you have?
That's a great question because I don't think, okay, it's kind of like, okay, I go and I do stand up and I do jokes and bits and I don't, but my friend Robert Dupree does, like, he'll do poetry and Wahoo. He does mental work, but I think of it more as like improvised crowd work from my perspective, but I look at them more as friends. And if you don't mind me plugging, I have a friend named Andrew Pinion.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. New friend.
Who he's doing mega chain fast food and disposable razor reviews. Apparently he has a twin who's going to do more, who's very snobbish, and he's going to do more high-end reviews. But I don't know. But he's more, to
those
answer your
reviews,
question,
those
he's
reviews
more
are
of
on
an
YouTube, right?
He's more of an alias
Mm.
of a, he's not me, but he's more of an, like a Clark Kent, an alias of a small part of me that's compulsively categorizes things, as opposed to a different person like Wahoo or Robert Dupree. You know what I mean?
So yeah, totally. What are those but those reviews, they're on YouTube, correct?
Yeah.
How would people find these food reviews and razors?
If you look, and he shaves with the hat glasses. If you go on Andrew Pinion on YouTube,
Andrew Pinion on YouTube.
He's my friend. I'm really trying to help the guy out, you know. This is his and he wears glasses and a sun. He wears glasses and a sun hat, and he's doing like the most generic, like large scale chains and disposable razors. Now his snobbish brother, who may or may not be knighted, is going to do like more high-end stuff. But
got it right here. I've got it for everybody to check out. Andrew Pinion's YouTube page right there.
Thank you, buddy.
So
Kyle, can I ask you, so you do a lot of characters and stuff. It's very interesting.
He does. I think, have you been keeping up with the story that we've been trying to push this whole time, Eerie?
Oh, I have, and I think
They're
it's
his friends.
It's very cool. Like, what's your inspiration for your different characters? Is it people you've met, or is it just things that you've or...
You know, if you ask Wahoo, I think what he would tell him is that he's always been an observational person, and he likes to just take people in, and I take it as like kind of insulting, but he's just trying to assess the person, and that's just how he naturally is, you know.
Interesting.
All right. Well, this has gotten psychotic. We need to wrap this up. So I think we got his plug. Ryan, do you have anything to plug in the quarantine?
If you'll subscribe to my YouTube page, I have some stuff coming. So just Ryan Goodcase.
Ryan
you can see
Goodcase.
the bottom left, yeah.
I'll see. Let's see. Ryan Goodcase.
I hope that comes up.
I'm gonna look it up right now. See if we find any links and see if there's any other Ryan Goodcases that are fucking your shit up.
I should be the only one in the world.
Ryan, you left out.
Ah, here we are. He
Left
has
out
18 subscribers. So
Yeah.
we can possibly double that today.
Right now it's just stand up, but I'm trying to do some new videos soon. So
Cool. And there is Ryan Goodcase's page right there. Cool. So, and again, yes, the sign there for Venmo there, I put that in the chat as well if anybody needs it, just above all that stuff. So I think without further ado, let's give our comedians a round of applause here for another wonderful, this is a lot of fun. Way more fun than if Paul Conyers were here. I'll say that right off the bat, and without.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys both.
Thank you so much, Ryan.
Your assessment, me, Dave.
You guys
I
wonderful.
know Ryan and Kyle is the bomb.
Yes.
I've seen Conyers on YouTube.
Give it up for my co-host. I'm Eerie Diamond. This has been another terrible podcast by comics. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really
Thanks all of you. Thanks everybody. Parents,
Bye, guys.
Jason,
It was
Janine,
fabulous.
Marissa,
we love
Ruth,
all of you. Denise,
Mabel,
Dan,
iPhone.
Extra awesome show.
Melanie.
So good. You guys are the bomb.
Melanie. Thanks, guys. We love you guys.
Awesome. Have a great day. Great night. All right. Had a good time, Luis?
Yeah.
Right on, man. We'll see you soon.